Hey folks, Eric the Old Jarhead here. Alright, I'm going to jump right into this one for you. First of all, welcome back to the channel and thanks for watching. Some of you know that thanks to a future customer, I've been referring to what I do as the Old Jarhead Sawdust Roadshow. Well, this particular video is the beginning of a very lengthy roadshow. But let's talk about this video. So we find ourselves about 150 miles from home, about 4,200 feet in elevation, up in the mountains outside of East Wenatchee in eastern Washington. I really couldn't beat the weather. It was great, and I had a big pile of logs. You can see them there to the right. Most of it was Doug fir, and the customer was looking for pretty much as much 2x6 as he could get. He had some other requirements, some posts and beams and that kind of stuff, and we'll get into those. But this video is really about milling 2x6 Doug fir for the customer for his build projects. And one of his projects is actually that shop that you can see on the far end of the sawmill. And aside from the little building that's tucked under it on the left, the rest of that shop was made with lumber that I milled for him over the past several years. I've milled off and on for this customer, 7 or 8 times. So anyway, let's get into this one. I got the log on the deck. I cut my cap cut off and got a nice flat side and rolled her up through the side supports. And again, this is standard issue for me, right? Get the log on the deck, cap cut, flitch cut as needed, and then roll her up 90 degrees straight into the side supports. And I'm telling you, this is the most productive way to mill lumber on one of these mills. Rolling at 90 degrees takes less time, and it gets you into a position to get that perfect 90-degree perpendicular face for your CANT right off the bat. So we go ahead, we roll it again, drop the side supports out of the way, boom, go down, make another cap cut. So a few of the things that you're going to see during this video is the usual cap cut, roll it up 90 degrees, make another one, roll it again, that kind of stuff. But you'll also see a few other things going on. One of them, of course, is that you'll see that these logs were already debarked, so I didn't have to use the debarker. That's always nice, but it isn't a requirement. I'm also going to edge flitches at the end of the second log. I actually find that if you edge after either each log, or if they're small like this one, maybe you could do it after every other log, but generally I do it after every log. This does a couple things. One, it gets rid of that massive pile of flitches that you build up during the day that everybody hates edging on the sawmill. Honestly, I find that to get the best production during the day, it's actually better to edge those flitches on the mill after each log. Then you're only dealing with usually 2 or 3 cuts, generally not very many. You can stack them up against the CANT before you mill it all the way down, rip the top off, flip them over, rip the bottoms off, and away you go. So you're going to see me doing that at the end of this video. In the meantime, we're going to knock this log down. Now, I will tell you, milling 2x6s, it goes a lot faster. Honestly, milling 2x6s goes pretty quick. Less cuts, get her milled into the CANT that you need, and then bang, 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 down she goes, knock it off the deck, get another log up on the deck. So let's sit back and watch the mill run for a little bit, and then I'll come back and talk a little bit about some of the things I'm doing as the video plays out near the end. All right, let's get this log up on the deck. One of the things you'll notice with this log is I was using my log clamp to bounce the log up against those loaders, and that's because the log didn't want to roll down. And sometimes, if I time it just right, I can actually cause the log to flip and roll off the log clamp and move over onto the deck when it's stuck like that. Sometimes it doesn't work and you got to grab a cant hook and then roll it over yourself. The other thing you'll notice here is that I'm rolling the log around quite a bit. This is because I'm looking for the stress in the log. Whether I'm going to make the final stress vertical or horizontal doesn't really matter, because I always try to start from the same point, which is hooks to the right. I want the stress laying horizontal on the deck. And so you're going to see that I'm looking for that. Every time I load a log up, I roll it around, I look for the bend in the log, and I want that bend to sweep to the right. That way I know that that's where the stress is in the log, and it's going to present itself in the lumber later. So we get the top cut off, roll her up 90 into the side supports, and then down we go, take another cap cut off. Now, of course, you also see that I go down to the middle of the log, drop the band onto the log, check the height, pick it up, come back, drop it 1.5 inches, and away we go. And 1.5 inches is a rough measurement. It's generally what I do, but sometimes I'll do a little less, sometimes I'll do a little more. Depends on whether I'm dealing with bark, big logs, small logs, that kind of thing. It's something you can get a feel for if you run a sawmill. But we got that one done. Now we're going to roll it over. Sometimes they just don't want to roll for you, and this one was one of those. So you know what, that handy dandy log clamp, just run her underneath, pull it back after you lift it up a bit, and the log's going to roll over for you. Another thing that you might see sometimes is that if you have your side supports down really low on the log after you've cut those first two faces, and you run that clamp into the log, it may try to lift the log up a little bit because of that round face. And all you've got to do is raise your side supports just a little bit more, drop the clamp a little bit, and then carefully clamp it, and it won't lift on you like that. But that's something that you may see me do from time to time, where I drop my side supports and then lift them back up a little bit. So if you ever wonder why I'm doing that, it's just to make sure that that log sits nice and flat on the deck. Now the next thing you see is I went ahead and I lifted up the toe board rollers on the mill, and then I went and cleaned off the bunks. If the bunks get a bunch of sawdust built up on them, then your log's not going to sit perfectly on the deck. And so that's just something you do from time to time. You get a feel for it. You can just kind of see if there's sawdust build up. And then away we go, knock the top off. Make a flitch cut, and again, we're doing primarily 2x. Occasionally you may see me take a 1-inch flitch. That's because when I'm milling to a cant, I have a specific measurement in mind. And I do a little trick so that if if the brain's not working real well, I'll actually take a Sharpie and write my cant sizes right on the cover for the simple set. And believe it or not, it really helps, because sometimes you can't remember. Was I looking for 11 3/8, or was it 11 5/8, right? So especially when you're milling a lot like this, and you know you're going to be doing a whole bunch of 1 5/8 by 5 5/8, 2x6s, that way they're going to shrink a little bit, get close to dimensional. You can just write those numbers right on the cover for the simple set. Makes it really easy. And here's a case right here where I'm just taking a little thin cutout. That's because I'm that close to the cant. I can take a 1-inch board out, knock it off the side to my cant size, and then I can roll it up and start knocking 2x6s off of it. All right, we're going to knock this one down, and I'll let it run a bit here. All right, here we go. So this is what I was talking about. I'm down to a small enough cant that's below 5 5/8 of an inch, actually quite a bit below it. And that's okay. I can go ahead now, stack up those two flitches that I have, clamp them against the cant, which gives me a nice solid surface to clamp them to. Mill the top off so I've got all the wane off. Then all I've got to do is flip them over again. And this doesn't take very long, just a few seconds each side. Flip them over, clamp them up again, run the saw head down at 5 5/8, and I've made 2 more 2x6s out of those flitches. I don't have a bunch of flitches piling up behind the sawmill somewhere. So we'll mill those, get them off the deck, and then finish this cant into the final 3 2x6s. All right, there you have it, folks. Milling Doug fir into 2x6s, the old Jarheads way out in the middle of nowhere, up in the cool mountains of eastern Washington. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you all have a great day. The old Jarhead out.